Hello everyone, welcome back to More Than Plastic. In today's video, we're going to be running through every single Spider-Man villain ever made in the Marvel Legends line. I already have a video on my channel where I showed off every single version of Spider-Man that has ever been made. So if you want, go check that out beforehand or after, whatever you want to do, because that's a very insightful video. So this is a great video to watch for anyone that wants to build out their Spider-Man villains collection and doesn't really know where to start. I'm going to tell you the best versions of each character and just pretty much show off every single time they were made in Marvel Legends. So hopefully this isn't a too long video. I'm going to try to go through everyone quick, but I do like to talk about all these figures. So we'll see how that goes. But starting us off, I think we're at 2007. So this is when the first villain was made. First off, we have Dr. Octopus. Interesting figure. We get the Sandman Build-A-Figure piece. Not bad for the time. Honestly, those tentacles look pretty good. Then we have Sandman. So that's him in his actual, costume and his little green striped. The legs are definitely a little interesting looking. Not the best figure, but for the time, once again, okay. Then we have this Venom figure. Not too bad. He's got the ball joint hips though. Then a figure that's actually pretty good for the time. We have Green Goblin. Definitely looks pretty great. Obviously, the articulation and joints are a little bit dated, which makes sense. But overall, it honestly doesn't look all that bad. Then we have the New Goblin figure, which I really want them to make this, now, because I feel like we actually need this for the line. I definitely want the Harry Osborn Green Goblin. I think that would actually be really cool to have. Honestly, not a bad sculpt either. Everything looks pretty good on there. Yeah, I really just want this, updated version. I think that'd be great. Then we have the Sandman Build-A-Figure, which is actually pretty cool. Very nice effect. I like that one a good bit. I like how they painted it and all and sculpted. Looks pretty good. The head does look a little bit weird on there. It kind of just looks like it's sat on there. Then we got Dr. Octopus in this weird line called Unleashed. I don't really know what this is. This was in my last Spider-Man video. One of the figures, there's a Spider-Man figure and it was made from this line as well. It looks a little weird because his feet look ginormous. Is it just me or look at his feet. They look huge. But hey, it looks very comic accurate. I kind of actually like the cell shading. Or not cell shading. I like the little comic outlines and stuff. That makes it look pretty nice. Then they made the Green Goblin, which it's funny for Dr. Octopus. They gave him his classic look. For Green Goblin, they gave not really. If it looks more modern, honestly, it's not really his classic look. This one's alright. I mean, I like that effect that came with that cool smoke effect. That's pretty nice. Then we got Agent Venom. We actually just got the new version of this that came out in the recent wave, which is definitely a lot better than this one. We have the Green Goblin from the Ultimate Universe figure. It was a Build-A-Figure. Honestly, pretty cool Build-A-Figure. It looks like it's on a Hulk or Abomination body, I think. I don't know, I can't really tell. I think this is around 2014 now, so this is a pretty big jump from the last figures. We didn't really get figures for a good while. So from 2008-ish to 2014, we didn't get any villain figures. But from here on out, we do get a bunch. I included Beetle here because I figured, he's in the Spider-Man wave and he is definitely a DC list Spider-Man villain, so we'll put him on the list. Honestly, that silver looks pretty cool. Not a bad figure for the time. We got Toxin. Not really, honestly, a nice figure in my opinion. Boring. The body is just plain red and you'll notice I'm not really a big symbiote person. I'm sure in the beginning of the video I'll probably show a clip of my collection and stuff, or as I'm talking, and you'll see that my collection is mostly just regular Spider-Man villains. I don't collect all the symbiotes, all Toxin and Riot and all that stuff. It's just not really my favorite storyline. So you'll see as I go through this video, I do kind of gloss over the symbiotes just because I don't really know too much about them. So if you came here for that, sorry, but I'll still show them off, but just don't really have that many thoughts on them. Then we got Carnage, pretty basic figure. It looks actually the same as the recent Carnages that have come out. So then we have Boomerang. Once again, I didn't know if I should include him, but I figured I would at least just show him off. So he does exist out there for you. Then we have Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie. Definitely a very inaccurate figure. This one does not look good at all in my opinion. The proportions are weird. The head is very tiny compared to the rest of the body, and it just doesn't look that great. I'm very excited for the new Electro though that is coming out for No Way Home. Then there is this Kraven the Hunter figure, which honestly, it's pretty nice. I'm pretty sure the newer one from the retro release is actually the same mold and everything as this one, just painted a lot less bright. But yeah, the head on it is pretty good. Honestly, we need a Kraven with a stoic expression, because the one that came with in the retro, he's screaming in it. It would be nice to have a regular redone face, almost like that. Next up is Chameleon, and it's crazy seeing this figure after we just got the new retro carded Chameleon that has just came out for the animated show, because the difference and contrast is crazy. So once again, this is around like 2014, 2015, and you know, almost 10 years later, the difference is pretty insane. That head sculpt is just like so bland, and then they put him on that just suited body. It's cool that you got the Hammerhead and J. Jonah Jameson head, but just so different, and nice that we have like the really cool upgrade, because I've been really wanting a Chameleon for my collection, but I was not about to get this one. Then we have this Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure, which honestly does look really great. I love the wings on it, the head sculpt is super evil looking, and just all the detail and like sculpting on the body, like those kind of like fishtail pattern on his like waist, that looks really great. And that fire effect is on his sword is actually like something we've never really seen before. That really does look nice. Definitely a great Build-A-Figure. We got an Anti-Venom figure there, part of the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave. Then we have the Rhino Build-A-Figure, which is crazy because for a while this figure was like super expensive, because like for around 6 years this was the only Rhino figure that existed. It took them so long to, you know, do the re-released one on the retro card. Honestly though, this one is really nice. Like, it does look great, no complaints, but the fact that, you know, you can only get this figure as a Build-A-Figure and that was the only Rhino figure that existed, that's crazy. I'm glad that they finally made the newer one so people can get their hands on it. But love the head sculpts. Look at that goofy one of him screaming. That one's super funny. Then we have this Superior Venom, which honestly does look pretty insane. That head sculpt and like the webbing on it does look really cool. I'm not really usually a Symbiote fan, but the fact that it's Otto Octavius in there, that makes it pretty cool to me. Next up we have this Beetle figure. Then we have Jack-O-Lantern. I really like this figure. They also redid this one. I'll show it later on. But this one is super cool. I like this character. I think he's like a funny, just like C or D-lister Spider-Man villain. I love having those guys, you know, to fill out the collection and stuff. I definitely got to get my hands on some of these, because I pretty much only have like A and B listers, but I do kind of want this character because I think he's, I just think he's cool looking. And I love those accessories he comes with. And the flame effect around the pumpkin looks really great. We got Morbius, and we've seen this body mold like for a while. I think like there was a new Morbius figure that came out like 2 years ago, and it's I think literally on the same body, which is crazy. We got this Venom figure, definitely a good classic Venom, nothing wrong with it. A little bit dated articulation, and there's definitely nicer Venoms that have come out since, but definitely a great start to Venom. Next up is Sandman, and he's a part of this what was this called? That weird like pack that was like exclusive to that convention. It's cool to see Sandman just like in his like regular clothes, but just like painted in the sand colors, because obviously he has this like striped shirt on and stuff. That's something that is pretty unique that we've never seen since. So yeah, definitely a different figure, so cool to see. Next up is Electro, and I really don't like this figure. I don't like the costume design that they went with for this figure. The black doesn't really look that good, and just not a fan, but there is a better Electro figure that did come out after this. Then we have the Hobgoblin figure, so another Hobgoblin. This one is really cool. It's on the same body as like the Green Goblin retro figure, so it has like that kind of like fishtail armor and everything. Super cool, but I will say, for my Hobgoblin, I actually don't have this one. I have the Toy Biz one, which looks similar to this one, but something about that Toy Biz is just my favorite. I'll put a picture of it. I absolutely love it. Like, it's one of my favorite Spider-Man villain figures in my collection. I think it's so cool. So, just so you know, if you wanted that option, that is out there. Then here's just a Venom Build-A-Figure. A little bland, but it exists. Then we have Jackal. I could use him for my collection too. I'd actually kind of like him. Definitely a character from a really hated storyline, you know, the Clone Saga of the 90s, but I don't know, I think it's a cool figure. Honestly, it's a pretty unique sculpt there, especially on that head, so I would like to get this Miles Warren figure for my collection. Here is a Green Goblin figure, which this one is really nice. I gotta say, it is cool, but I would say get this one if you're more a fan of like the darker colors, but for me, I like the bright colors for my Green Goblin, so you'll see shortly in a little bit, the retro one. This one is nice, but yeah, just a little bit darker and not as much for me, but all around a really good figure. It's on the same body as the newer one, so no complaints there. Then we have Shocker. Yeah, I don't really like this version of Shocker. It's not a bad option. He's got more of like the brown on his costume. It's very similar to the one that comes out, later on. But hey, it's not a bad option. If you have this one, it's definitely a good selection for your collection. Ooh, that rhymed. Okay, then we have the Sandman Build-A-Figure. And a lot of people like this version of Sandman more than the one that was released on the retro card. You know, they both have good aspects of them. This one's obviously cool because of all those accessories, like that block thing, like the sand brick block thing that he's holding. That looks actually really cool, and the giant hand and all the different hand pieces you get that are made out of sand definitely looks nice. I just feel like the body is like a little bit big. Like, I don't know, I don't have this figure, but I've seen it in like a bunch of pictures and stuff and videos, and he looks a little too big. I don't know if that's just me, but I like the retro one. This one's great too. They're both really good figures. Then we got this old Tombstone figure. For a while, this was the only one that was out before the newer one was released. Not bad, but just, not really the greatest. It's a little goofy looking now. I don't know why. The popped collar is giving like vampire. I don't really love it. We got another Beetle figure. Looks pretty cool. I like the metallic paint job. That looks pretty nice. We got Vulture, and this is him from the Ultimate Universe, so it definitely is not his like classic look. It's still pretty well done though. Like, honestly, it looks like they did a great job. It looks high quality. It looks very shiny in a good way though. And yeah, honestly, not a bad take on the character at all. Now we have Vulture from the movies, and yeah, not really a great figure because this was when they made the Build-A-Figure his wings, which I don't really like when they do that because I feel like you shouldn't lock the wings behind like a Build-A-Figure because that's not really fair. Because if I'm getting a character that has wings, I just want to get it with the figure. At least just make it a deluxe. I feel like that's more fair to do instead of locking it behind, you know, having to get all these other different figures. So yeah, this is definitely not a good one in my book, but you'll see later on they do re-release this with the wings as a deluxe. So I think they realized that, you know, people didn't really like that. Now we have Mysterio, and when this was released, they did like 2 variants where he has like the white head and the green head. That's honestly reminding me of Toy Biz, because Toy Biz used to do that a lot, where they would release a figure but then just do like different variants of it, which I think that's cool. I think we should bring that back. I like it. I just don't really love this Mysterio as much because he's not as bright. He has like the green hands going on instead of like the gold. I like Mysterio with gold. Yeah, not my favorite, but it's still a great option. Once again, like pretty much the same sculpt as the newer one, so if you have this one, it's definitely a solid pick for your collection. Alright, next up we have Prowler, and a really cool looking one. I actually really do like this one. Once again, there's a newer one of it. I'm gonna be saying that a lot about like every figure because that kind of is what happened. In the beginning, they like made a bunch of Spider-Man villains, but then as time went on, they realized they were pretty dated, so they remade them. So you'll be hearing me say that a lot in this video, as I already have. The new one is really cool, but this one honestly still holds up. Next up is the Lizard Build-A-Figure, which I kind of could see what people are saying about liking this one more than the retro one. I personally really love the retro Lizard because I think he's just so cute and adorable, and he just looks great. But I can't lie, this one is really great. Like, he's all, you know, ripped up. He's got all the ripped up clothes, and he really does look like menacing and stuff. Definitely a great figure. They should, I feel like, re-release this, honestly, because I feel like a lot of people would love to get their hands on this. And we do need a Lizard who's more like this in newer time, because I don't think anyone could really get their hands on this. It's so expensive on the secondhand market. Then we have a Carnage figure. Includes the Cletus Cassidy head sculpt though, which is nice to see. I think that's the first figure so far that has included that. Looks pretty good. Got this symbiote called Poison. Then we have Scream. And we have another Venom with an Eddie Brock head sculpt. That is honestly not their best work. They've done some really great Eddie Brock head sculpts. This is not one of them. Then you got this really big Build-A-Figure Venom. He looks super scary. He's got that giant build. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys like it more when Venom is like normal size, like in the last figure, or do you like when he's like huge like this? Because I don't really have a preference. I'm curious what you guys think. Now we got the first Dr. Octopus that was released in the Marvel Legends line, except the one earlier in that like Unleashed line. This one is good. It's also was released in that 2-pack with Silk. I don't really love this figure too much, honestly. Like, yes, it's very classic. Like, I like the look of it, but as a figure, the arms on it are just not that good. I gotta be honest. They're really annoying to work with, and I feel like they could do a lot better on it. And we got Silver Sable. I don't have this figure, but she looks pretty good. I feel like they could definitely do a great version of this character with the new female tooling. I think she could actually come out really great because look how dated that body and head sculpt is. Then we got this like Agent Venom, but like in the white kind of outfit. Once again, I'm not too knowledgeable about like all the symbiote stuff, but that one's out there. Now we got Red Goblin, which that is a scary looking figure. Look at that head sculpt. That's genuinely terrifying. Next up is the Puma figure. I didn't really know where to put this one. I didn't know if I should even put him on the list because He's like barely a Spider-Man villain, but I'm including him because he's a part of the wave. Next up, we got the Scorpion figure, which I do have this one. I kind of wish I had the one from the retro card because I think that one's a lot more like bright and everything, and it just looks better. This one's a little bit dull, and also I don't know why in the world his mouth is painted green, because that's not a part of his mask. Like, that's his skin, and it's green on his mouth, but his eyes are like regular skin color, so I don't really understand that. But it's alright, you know, it holds up as a Scorpion figure, but I would like the other one. Then we got Hydro Man. I really do want this figure. This one I like. It's simple, but it gets the point across. It's a good figure. It looks like the character, and I definitely could use this one for my collection because I do like the Hydro Man character. And here is the Build-A-Figure Kingpin in his white outfit. Yeah, definitely cool. I have the other one, which we'll show in a little bit, but this one's definitely a solid choice. I feel like this one goes better with like a Daredevil, whereas like the retro carded one kind of goes more with Spider-Man because it is based off like the animated series. So that's kind of just my thoughts there. Then we got the Molten Man Build-A-Figure from the Spider-Man movie. Yeah, not a bad figure. Interesting way how they incorporated Molten Man into the MCU, because that's obviously not at all how he is in the comics, because in the comics he is, what's his name? I'm forgetting her name right now. What's her name's brother? So definitely a lot different than being a, you know, Mysterio fake projection thingy. But still cool that they tried to at least, you know, include like a Spidey villain. Next up we got Kraven, and I don't think I like this figure. Something about his legs and like his feet, like what is he wearing? Are those like ballet shoes? I'm confused. Like I just noticed that. I don't really like that. The other Kraven figure was better for sure, the older one. And there you go, he has that like weird expression on his face. A little creepy. Then we got the movie Mysterio. Honestly, a solid figure. I think the design for the movie Mysterio is actually great. It's very comic accurate. I think they did a phenomenal job. I like the little you know, stuff on the back of his cape. I think that looks pretty cool. It gives him some more uniqueness. And yeah, solid figure. I do have this one and I like it a lot. Now we got these like Venomized versions of each character. So here's the Venomized Miles. Not bad. There is the Venomized Gwen. Looks pretty cool. And last but not least, the Venomized Captain America. Honestly, pretty unique figure. That one, they definitely put some effort into that, so I like to see it. Then we have the Vulture figure, and I have this one, and I definitely think we could use like an upgrade of this, because we don't have like any other classic Vultures besides this one. This is the only one that exists, and he's on the Pizza Spidey body, which I think is kind of weird for like an old man. I don't know, it just does not fit, and yeah, just very dated. They definitely could take a new you know, look at this figure and try to make it a little bit better. Then we got the White Rabbit figure. I do like this one. I don't have it, but I actually think this is a pretty fun figure. I love her accessories, and she actually looks like a super great figure. I know she made a lot of top 10 lists for the year. I think this was like 2019 or 2020 this came out. And next up is the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure. Genuinely just a sick looking figure. Like, take a look at that head sculpt. The body looks incredible. All the different sculpting. Very unique. Super, super cool. Then we have the Monster, or like Maximum Venom. I forgot what it was called. I have this one. So yeah, in my collection I do have like the bigger Venom. Then we have Toxin, another Toxin. I feel like this is like the third one we've gotten on the list. Yeah, pretty creepy. That is look at the thing behind his head, all the little Venom and symbiote things sticking out. Then we have Electro. I have this figure. I really like this one. Very classic, on a pretty good body. I don't think this one even needs upgrading. It was just made, and honestly, just a really, really good representation of the character. Very comic accurate. Then we have Green Goblin, another phenomenal figure. This is the Green Goblin I have in my collection. And as you can see, yeah, same body as the one I showed earlier, but just way brighter. Like, you got the bright green, the like more pink, whereas the other one was kind of like that purpley look. I really love this one. Great Norman head sculpt, super cool to include that. Then next up is Mysterio. So yeah, as you can see here, this is when it kind of starts to pick up and we get like the definitive versions of each character. You could argue that these are based on the animated series. I guess they are, but to me, they're just super comic accurate, and I love them. So yeah, this Mysterio comes with the gold shoes and the hands and everything. Looks a lot better than the other one, where it was like all green. And you get those accessories on his legs to like show the illusion. I really like that one. Then here's Kingpin. So yeah, this is definitely like straight up ripped from the animated series, because that is exactly what he wore in that show. I love this figure. It's so big and just like menacing, and very, very great Kingpin figure. I was very, very lucky and happy to have this one. And as you can see, yeah, this one definitely goes more with Spider-Man. The other one was kind of like more Daredevil, where he's in like the white suit. Then we have Carnage. I have this Carnage. This is the version I have of him. It's kind of simple. He doesn't have the, you know, unmasked head sculpt, which is fine. But yeah, another Carnage figure for the list. Here is Morbius. Nice to see him on a unique body. I actually, in my screenshots, I didn't include where this was from. Cool head sculpt and pretty cool body and cape. Then here's this symbiote that I forgot the name of that I'll include on the screen. We got Venom Pool. I wasn't sure to put this on the list, but I said, you know what, it's Venomized, so we'll just include it. We got the Venom figure from the movie. Very nice. I do like this one a lot. I have it, and it's pretty good. Now here is that cell-shaded version of Venom that came, was it singly released? Yeah, I guess it was singly released. This one's pretty nice. It's still not the one I was talking about earlier. The other one came with the Eddie Brock head sculpt. This one doesn't have that. But yeah, it's on a really good body, and the cell shading is unique. You got the blue and the red cell shading, which is interesting. Now here's the other Sandman. I think this one actually looks really great. I love the like striped green shirt. I think that's just so classic to his character. Definitely less hand accessories as like the Build-A-Figure, but it still works and it's very classic. So like I said, I really like both figures. Here is the Prowler from the Into the Spider-Verse movie. Solid figure, no complaints at all there. Then here is the Vulture figure, like I was saying earlier. He came with his wings, thankfully, because how are you gonna have Vulture and not have his wings? So glad that they included that and had it so you can get that figure, because I know a lot of people probably wanted it but didn't want to get the whole wave. Now here is another Venom, and as you can see, he does have that Eddie Brock head sculpt with half Eddie, half Venom. I think that looks really, really cool. I do like that a lot. Then I forget her name. I'll include it on the screen. There's this symbiote, the girl one. I think is it Scream? I'm pretty sure it's Scream. Then Riot, I'm pretty sure that's Riot. Kind of boring, it's just all blue. Now here's Dr. Octopus from the Silk 2-packs. Pretty much exactly the same as the singly released one, so same thoughts. I just don't really love the arms on this figure, but I really do like the classic, just regular like base body. I do think that looks good. Here's the Rhino figure. Really love this one. I have it, it's great. Glad that they released this once again because the Build-A-Figure was super expensive, so great that we have this option out there. Here is Venom from the 2-pack with Null, and this one is pretty sick. Those wings actually look great, and just the body is very nicely sculpted. I think it's definitely, I think that is actually new. That was new at the time, yeah. I don't think that's anything we've ever seen it. And I know for a while people were kind of using this as like their Spider-Man PS5 Venom because of the wings and everything. I think it looks really, really nice. Now here's Null from that 2-pack, and some great head sculpts. Look at those pictures. That looks really, really good. Looks very creepy. Then we have Hobgoblin. Not my favorite version of Hobgoblin. For a while I thought I liked this one, but then I saw the Toy Biz one and I was like, no, that one is so much better. And even the one from earlier, I like that one a lot more. This one is definitely more based on the animated series, which normally I would say I like the animated series figures more, but in this case, I don't. I think they kind of flopped on this one. Then we have Hammerhead. I love this figure. It's so good. The head sculpt is great. It's just a suited figure, but I don't care. I think it's actually like a 10 out of 10. It's a really great figure. Then we have Shocker, another figure that I love. I don't know why I love this figure so much, but I really, really think he's great. Just the way he's sculpted, and it's just something so simple, but I just think it looks incredible. Definitely another 10 out of 10 figure. Now we have Scorpion, and this is the version I actually would kind of like for the character, because you guys know I love my bright action figures, and he's definitely has more life to him than the other green one, which is pretty dark. So maybe in the future I will get my hands on this one. Then we have the Lizard figure, which I absolutely love. One of my favorite figures ever for the Spider-Man villains. I just think he's freaking adorable. Like, he's cute. I don't know what else to say. I love his lab coat. I love the little head sculpts. He's a cute lizard. He has the bendy wire tail. He comes with cool accessories. Great, great figure. Now we got the Demon Gang members from the PlayStation game. Yeah, I love that game so much. So cool to have these. I'm glad they made them. Then we got Mr. Negative. I should get him for my collection because I feel like he would actually look good in it. I don't have him, but they really did a great job on that figure. Looks great, like the inverted kind of colors. Looks super cool. Then we got Alistar Smythe from the animated series, ripped straight from that show. That head sculpt is actually great. This is when stuff like really starts to look good, like I was saying. Like the head sculpts are looking really, really insane. Another Carnage figure, and he does have the unmasked head there. Looks pretty good. Now we have Dr. Octopus from the animated series. I do like the look of this. I don't have it though because I kind of like the classic comic version of Dr. Octopus for my collection, but this one is a really good choice. I do think he looks cool, and I feel like the bendiness of his like arms and stuff, it looks like they work a lot better than the ones I have. Then we got Green Goblin from the animated series. Now I do love this one a lot. I have the retro one. This one is really cool just because of like the bright pink. Like that pink they use is so cool. I think that looks great. But I'm gonna keep the one that I have. I don't think I need to get this one because I don't really love the like goblin head sculpt as much on this one. I do like the bright colors, but the head on it is really not my favorite because that's just how the animated show went with it. I don't think that looks as good, but great Norman head sculpt. Then we got this 5-pack, and I'm not going to show each individual figure off. I'll just kind of go through them. So you got Silvermane, Human Fly, Molten Man, and Razorback, and of course the Spider-Man figure that's also included in there. Definitely a cool 5-pack. I like to include this, kind of like C and D listers. That Razorback figure is pretty funny too, and cool that we got Silvermane. I never actually thought that we would get him since he is like an old man, but that's a perfect way to include characters that, you know, you don't think will sell well. I think it's good to put them in a 5-pack because, you know, they're just there for the collectors that want them. I think that's a great way to get figures out there. Ooh, then we got an Ollie's Peg Warmer. So this figure is called the Rose, and he is Wilson Fisk's son, actually. And honestly, it's not a bad figure, but I can already tell you just by looking at it that the articulation is probably very limited based off of that torso. Then we got another Ollie's Peg Warmer. This wave did not do well. This was probably like one of the worst Spider-Man waves ever. This is the Tarantula figure. Not a bad figure by any means at all. I considered getting him for a while, but I don't really have a connection to the character at all, so I didn't. Then we got this Venom. Is this the Space Venom figure? I forgot the name of it. I'm pretty sure it is that. He kind of looks like the Destroyer, low-key. Look at his head. There's this figure, I think it's called Mania or something. So like female Venom, I guess. Now here's the Kraven the Hunter figure. Love the colors on it. The head sculpt though, yeah, he's just doing too much. Like they could have given like a stoic head sculpt. Like they could have at least given us that because, you know, I don't want my Kraven to be screaming all the time if I just have him sitting on my display. Like it's not that serious. Now we have Morbius. I'm pretty sure this is the figure I have. Once again, it looks exactly like that figure that was released like 6 years prior to this, so they didn't really do too much updating there. But hey, it's a classic representation of the character, I guess. Then we have the Spot. I have this figure. I like it. It perfectly captures the character, and it looks really cool. Now we got Sandman from the Spider-Man No Way Home wave, aka Chicken Nugget Man, because that's exactly what he looks like. I still love this figure, but it would be nice to get, you know, the character just in his Spider-Man 3 outfit, just the classic, you know, green striped shirt. But nonetheless, you know, that's how he looked in the movie, so that's what we got. Now we have Green Goblin. Love this figure. One of the best head sculpts ever made. Look at that Willem Dafoe head sculpt. It's actually crazy. Yeah, once again, I would love to get, you know, a regular Green Goblin from the Raimi trilogy. I would hope that someday they do a wave of that. That would be insane. But for now, this works for me. I'm super happy to have him. Love the glider. Really, really great. Then we have the Dr. Octopus figure. No complaints about this one. He's pretty good too. Same thing though, I do have a little bit of trouble with his like arms and everything. I think it's just kind of hard to like get that in action figure form, so I can't hate too much, but yeah, they're definitely a little challenging and annoying to use. Then we have Hydro Man from that 2-pack. It's interesting, you know, the other Hydro Man, he was like human, he was in his human form, but then like just his arms were the water, which I kind of like that because you do get to see like his face and everything, but I do kind of like this like fully, you know, water version of the character. I think that looks pretty good. Now here we have Morbius from the animated series, and he looks like he's ripped straight out of the cartoon. He played a really big role in the cartoon. I think that's why I didn't love that show as much as Spectacular Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong, I loved the animated series, you know, from the 90s. I did love it, but there was a lot of Morbius going on, especially like on the earlier seasons, and like he's just not my favorite character. But hey, he does look really good as a figure. Then we have Vulture from the 2-pack with that, you know, 90s animated Spider-Man. A very well done figure. I don't like the Spider-Man in that 2-pack. You guys heard me talk about it in my last video. I really don't like that Spider-Man at all. But this Vulture actually looks really good. I feel like if they took a shot at like making a classic Vulture with like similar tooling, I think that could look really great because that head sculpt of Vulture is really good. Then we have another Carnage right there. Here is the Prowler, which looks really great. I love the bright comic-y colors. It's just a very upgraded version of the one I showed earlier, which, you know, had no problems with. But cool to have the bright colors, the pinless body, and the unmasked head sculpt. Then we have Jack-o'-lantern. I love this figure. I do want to get it because I just think it's such a cool like Halloween figure. Like honestly, that's just a great like Halloween decoration. I think that looks great, and I love his little glider he's on. What is that? That's cool. And this is called Hallows Eve, I'm pretty sure. I see her on the shelves a lot. She's another peg warmer. She's not bad at all. I like her heads. I like that she comes with like those little face things. I don't really know much about her character. Obviously, what does she like, steal people's faces or something? I don't even know what that is. Like that devil and like Dracula face. Pretty cool though. Next up is Tombstone. I love this figure. Once again, I don't care that he's just a guy in a suit. I think he actually looks incredible. They really popped off on this figure. I was super happy to have him because I definitely needed the upgraded one. The other one was just too old. That one I showed earlier, I was like, I'm not buying that one. I was like holding off for a new Tombstone, and I'm glad I did. Here is another Venom. This one actually looks really great. I think he's pinless. Very, very nice. Another Venom pool. We got the Let There Be Carnage figure. I don't actually own this one, but I did buy it for my cousin for Christmas, and we opened it up, and he showed me what it looked like and everything, and he does look pretty cool. The back is a little bit bland, I will say that. Like, they didn't put as much effort into the back, which I guess makes sense, but at the same time, it is a deluxe figure, so they kind of could have done that. But from the front, he does look really, really cool. Like, the way they did, like, the black kind of, like, on his body and everything. Really cool Carnage. Then we have Venom from the Let There Be Carnage movie, and that accessory with, like, the Venom heads behind him, that is super sick. I really, really like that a lot. I didn't get this figure or anything, but it does look really cool. Now we have Miles Prowler. I should get this figure. I didn't get him, but I know I should, because when Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, obviously I'm assuming he's going to be, like, probably a big role in it, because he was teased at the end, and I'm probably going to want him, so I should probably pick up this figure. Now we have Chameleon. Love this figure. I was super happy to get him. When they announced him, I was stoked because I was like, thank God, I need a Chameleon so bad for my collection. He was like the last like main Spider-Man villain that I was like, I need him. Like, my collection feels like I'm missing without him. So glad to have him. I know people do have problems with like that piece on his like chest breaking, which that kind of sucks. Like, sorry guys about that. But mine has been pretty good. Like, I never had a problem with him. Then we have female Electro, so we're coming towards the end because this is like the newer wave. Yeah, I skipped out on this one just because I don't, once again, really have an attachment to the character, but I think they did a great job on her. Now we have Kingpin from the new Spider-Man PS5 wave. He does look really, really good. He is just kind of like a re-release of like the original, like same body as the other Kingpin. People were complaining about that, but like, what else do you want? Like, I think it works. He's in the black suit. At least it's unique. It's not like he's in a white suit again or anything like the other two, and it's a totally different head sculpt, which looks just like the game. Then you have Venom, all 19 inches of him, haha, if you know what I'm talking about, and looks pretty cool. This Venom design for the game was definitely unique. Like, that chest logo is something we've really never seen before. I like that they included like that drool kind of effect that goes between his teeth. That's also unique. Like, that's a separate piece. Like, that's not a different head sculpt or anything. That's actually a little piece that's included with it, like a drool piece, which never seen that in a figure before. Never thought I would. But that exists. That is out there, and this is gonna look pretty cool when it's released. I didn't order this one because I already do have a Venom, but I'm excited to see what this one looks like when it comes in. We have this Spot figure, which has never been released yet. Like, they already released that wave like months ago, but I don't think this has been put out yet. I don't really know what they're waiting for with that. Then we have Lizard, which I'm very excited to get this one. I have this one on pre-order. I cannot wait for these figures. I just want my movie Spider-Man, villains to be done, because I think it'll look great when they're all together. So I can't wait for this one to come in. It says May, I think, but I think it'll come a little bit sooner than that. And here we go. We have Electro. Was very excited about this one too. I know the price does suck. I don't know why he's $35. I wish I had the answer to that, because everyone is asking that question. He's just a regular figure. I think he comes with extra hands. Yeah, he does. He has like fists and open, and all he really has is just like the extra electric pieces, and he doesn't even come with another head sculpt, so I really don't know why he's deluxe. It does suck, but unfortunately, that's the reality. So I have this one on pre-order because I do need him for my collection, so I'm not boycotting this one. But yeah, that's Electro. And oh yeah, we're coming to the end. But here, last but not least, I just really wanted to talk about this wave, just because I literally just made that whole entire Spider-Man video about every single Spidey figure ever released, and now, this wave was just announced, so I don't want to be behind on it, so I want to include this in this video, so, you can hear my thoughts on it. So, I didn't love this wave. I actually am passing on the whole thing, not gonna lie. I was gonna get the Black Cat. Well, hold on, we'll talk about all of them. So first, we have the Miles suit. I don't like that at all. I don't think it looks good. I don't know. The blue is just ugly. I don't think that's a good figure. So that's definitely a pass, unfortunately. Well, I guess fortunately for my wallet. But then we have the regular, just like symbiote Spider-Man, Peter when he has a symbiote. That one looks really good. I like that figure. The Venom on it looks really good. It looks nice and shiny. Then the anti-Venom suit, I don't like that at all. First of all, I don't really think we even needed that in the wave. And also, it's not even done right. Like, it's supposed to be white. Like, I know that isn't edit style. Like, in the game, as you play, you can, like, get that edit style. But I don't really like it at all. But if I had to choose, I'd say go with the white. Then there's that Miles 2099 suit. It's, you know, it actually looks pretty cool. It kind of looks like a stealthy version of him. But I just feel like, once again, we could have gotten, like, another villain. Like, how about Kraven? Like, can we get Kraven instead? Like, we didn't need that many, like, versions of, like, Miles and Peter. Like, we definitely could have gotten a Kraven figure. Then we got Black Cat, which I'm still debating. I still might get her, because I actually don't have a good Black Cat for my collection. I really don't. I want that retro one from 2020, but I can't seem to get her for a good price. So I was thinking I would just get this one and just, like, at least have, like, a version of her, because it does look pretty good. So we'll still see. I'm on the fence with that one. But that's definitely the best figure from this wave. And then last but not least, there's the Miles and, like, that just, I forget what the suit name is, but you can see a picture there. It's alright, but just, to me, once again, not really anything special. So kind of a letdown wave, but hey, if there's people out there that like it, I'm super happy that you can, you know, enjoy this wave, so that's cool. But anyway, that is everything. That was a lot we went through. I think that was like almost 130 figures. That's crazy. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Once again, check out the Spider-Man video I made of this in the same style. I did an Avengers and X-Men video in this style too. Let me know what characters you would want next, where I can go through every single Marvel Legend made, because I really do love making these videos. They just take a long time to edit though, and film, and prepare too, because there's a lot of prep with all the screenshots and everything. So I really hope you appreciate all the work I put into this. Definitely leave a like to show me some support. Thank you guys again for 500 subscribers. That is crazy. Hopefully we can reach 1,000 soon. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. This has been More Than Plastic. Bye.